Morning, everyone. This is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and it is time for Coffee and MTG, episode 155. 155 of Coffee and MTG. You get the coffee, and we talk magic. We talk magic on this show. First part, magic discussion, Q&A. We have a lot of fun. And also, part two, we do Decklist review. So if you got a Decklist you want to share, get some feedback on it, fix that mana base, maybe fix the win condition. We're ready for you, both myself and the community. We can do something for you. So as usual, brew up the cup of coffee and let's start brewing up some magic. So good morning, Kyoka620, Lord Magicus. I hope the ads are over. You can enjoy the show. And as we get into this, I'm going to start. I need to get out of the podcast area into the magic area. And by the way, maybe I should wait for a few more people. This is going to be the last time we're, at least for the foreseeable future, we're going to host Coffee and MTG on Twitch. Coffee and MTG is moving. We're going to move Coffee and MTG. So I'm going to remind everyone at the beginning. I'm going to remind everyone at the end. Coffee and MTG is going to move at least to YouTube and to Facebook, and I think Twitter. I think I can get it going on Twitter. You'll see later, maybe even later today, I might randomly have a live for no reason on YouTube or Twitter, and you'll be able to, anyone can participate on any of the platforms. Hopefully I can do it on both of my YouTube channels because I don't want to have any public content on my OG channel, but I can keep the content going on the stream channel. I can put tons of crap there, so it's all good. So we're going to go back to YouTube. The gameplay content, however, still going to be on twitch.tv. It's just that everyone shows up for gameplay content here, but I had over 100 of you watching this on YouTube alone. So we're going to stretch it from YouTube to Facebook to Twitter. And hopefully we can have an even larger conversation in the morning for Coffee and MTG. Hopefully bigger and better things. And without crushing my Twitch analytics. I love everyone who shows up. I wish more people like you showed up in the morning for all this great magic discussion. So good morning, Balada. Good morning, Cactus of Ishmok. Nux27. How is it? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Yeah, so we're gonna go back to YouTube at the very least. Long story short, if I want to get to partner, I need to average at least 75 viewers on Twitch, which is impossible because this show is actually, while it's still pretty well attended, I get anywhere between 30 to 50 people showing up to this show. It heavily weighs down the 75 average. That being said, if I ever become partner, I might go back. I might not. Maybe I won't even accept partnership. All I get for being a partner is I get more emotes, I get a little bit more income. Maybe I'm going to say, screw it. We're going to stay on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook for Coffee and MTG because I'd rather reach more people. I have more fun every single day. Decklist review is going to be a little bit awkward, though, because we don't have any commands for Decklist review if I move to all the other platforms. We had that nice script here, which is nice. What deck are we looking at today? We'll talk a little bit about Splinterfin, I guess. That's the exciting thing for me. If anyone was there. Pure Sight, Marrow. If anyone was there yesterday, we went 5-0 with this card. Wow, I can't believe it. Now, we played this. It's funny. It's like Troll Tuesday is back, except we're not actually trolling. It looks like a troll deck, but the deck could be dead serious. And I played this card once on Troll Tuesday. I played Pure Sight Marrow. Was actually pretty good. Doesn't interact with the battlefield, though, which is what made Pure Sight Marrow pretty awkward. So doesn't actually, doesn't bounce creatures, doesn't interact with combos. But, for a random merfolk that I never played with before, this card was amazing because it's still, for the most part, when you're tapping it to attack, you can spend a blue and you can get rid of lands off the top of your library. So you're effectively scrying every single turn with Pure Sight Marrow. I actually like this card quite a bit. D Kaushik 5, thank you very much for the follow. And 7 Heroes, thank you very much for the follow. So Pure Sight Marrow is a playable card. But in combination with Paradise Mantle, this now becomes a deadly combo. Because here's the deal. You got to read this thing close because you do miss it. Here, I'll even make the picture larger for everyone because if if you're squinting, you might miss it. This is not a tap ability. This is an untap ability. So for either a blue or a white, and you untap it, you can look at the top card of your library, and you have the option to exile it. You can remove it from the game. Now the point is, with combination of Paradise Mantle, which is a 0 mana equipment, equip for 1, equipped creature has tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So you tap Pure Sight Marrow for a mana, then with that mana you untap it and use its ability, and you can exile your entire deck. Okay, so what are we supposed to do after we do that? We win with Thassa's Oracle, which is also a decent playable merfolk. It's not bad. Not great. I never found any particular reason that I want to use Thassa's Oracle, but you know what? If I can combo off on turn 3, not bad. I'd go for this. Anyone who wants to combo off on turn 3 would go for this. And Thassa's Oracle does 2 jobs. I mean, yes, you can win the game, but it also can help find combo pieces. So if you have enough devotion, you dig to your Paradise Mantle, you dig to your Pure Sight Marrow. And if you've got the Pure Sight Marrow and the Paradise Mantle, you can dig for the Thassa's Oracle, because you get to look at the top. You keep exiling cards off the top of your library until you take a peek at Thassa. Like, once you find Thassa's Oracle on top of your deck, you leave it there, you draw it. You can draw it with Silvergill Adept, you can draw it with Smuggler's Copter, or just draw it for the turn, because you can do this ability at end of turn of your opponent's turn. So you put Thassa's Oracle on top of your deck, draw it to exile the rest of your library, and win the game. So anyway, I don't know what to say. Like, I won some games in some queues, then I played in a league, and I did pretty damn well, and I'm like, okay, let's keep developing this. I'm going to play this in the challenge this weekend. I'm going to play it in the challenge. I'm not BSing here. And we can still make this deck better, I'm sure. There's still a lot of room to improve the build. And I'm running Lurrus, too. It's like the first time I have an excuse to run Lurrus of the Dream Den. Lurrus increases our threat density and also can get combo pieces back from the graveyard. You know what? Would you shut up, Siri? I'm Siri's like, I'm not asking for your help. Is basically what it is. So, buzz off. And you can combo off on turn 3. We get turn 3 kills. I'll explain. You can do it with or without an Ether Vial. Let's say you don't have an Ether Vial. You go turn 2 Pure Sight Marrow. Turn 3, play a land, Paradise Mantle, equip Pure Sight Marrow, and then you cast Thassa's Oracle, and then exile your library to win the game. Or you could also, alternatively, if you don't have a third land, you only have 2 lands, you put the Paradise Mantle on your Pure Sight Marrow, and then exile your library first, then play the Thassa's Oracle in your hand. This is assuming you have all the combo pieces in your hand already. So those all work. It all works. So it is, and with Ether Vial, turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Paradise, Pure Sight Marrow, turn 3, play Paradise Mantle, equip, Violin, Thassa's Oracle, and win the game. The best is you have, so here's, I think, some hidden strategy here. Oh, how do you exile the library? Okay, whoops. How do I exile the library? I'll explain. This is an untap ability, not a tap. You don't tap to get the ability. The creature has to already be tapped, and then you pay a blue or a white, and you untap it, and you look at the top card of your library, and you have the option to exile it, remove it from the game. Now, the way we get this thing tapped in the first place is with Paradise Mantle. We're going to pay 0, pay 1 to equip, and now we have the option. The equipped creature has tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, like Birds of Paradise. So now we tap our creature. We're going to tap our Pure Sight Marrow to add a mana. We're going to add a blue. Then we're going to use the untap ability, plus use that blue mana to exile the top card of our library. Tap for mana, untap, exile a card, and then rinse and repeat for forever. So here's the deal. Like, imagine you're playing with Ether Vial. At any moment, with Ether Vial on 2, our opponent has to be a little concerned we could combo off. Like, we could, usually I'm just end of turn playing Silvergill Adept, end of turn playing Lord of Atlantis, end of turn playing Trickster or something like that. They now legitimately have to fear that we've got Pure Sight Mirror in our hand, and then on our following turn we're going to cast a Paradise Mantle, equip it, and then just go off. That is a legit fear people have to have when they see Ether Vial, which means they need to be even more cautious about tapping out than they normally do. They need to hold up mana. And you know what? Like, I will say there is a bunch of removal in the game anyway, as it is. So, I mean, we have to fight through it anyway, and we probably have to side out the combo versus removal heavy decks. Jeez. I said, don't talk. How do I turn Siri off? Okay, I'm gonna take you off my wrist now. This is ridiculous. I'm too loud. If you speak loud enough into the Apple Watch, I guess I'm getting too excited. Am I too excited? Am I too excited, Siri? Am I too excited? Oh, you don't want to talk now? Huh? You don't want to talk? All right. You're grounded, Siri. You're grounded. Start a league. Well, we had a league. First episode of our league is coming out. It's already out. You can find it on Nikachu MTG streams. So anyway, I just learned about this after the league. I realized how powerful Ether Vial is in this deck. Now, like the value of Ether Vial goes up because now your opponent is going to be that much more fearful about tapping out. They have to leave some mana up for our potential, like, because we could combo off. We did it. We comboed off several times that league. We're comboing off all over the place. Would Hivemind and Paradigm Shift work in this deck? Well, first off, this is a modern deck, so Paradigm Shift is not legal in modern. It's a legacy. It's a reserve list legacy card, actually. Hivemind, I don't know why you would want this. This is a very expensive card that has no business in this deck. I'm not even using instants or sorceries. I have no idea what you're doing. What you want to use this card for. You might be... I have a feeling you're mistaking this card with something else. Oh, no. I got rid of all my other cards up. But yeah, Pure Sight Marrow. Interesting card. Very interesting card. Very interesting combo. Giving a little bit new life to the deck. And I feel like now my matchup against Titan Shift and all these other sort of combo decks are a lot easier because, okay, I could try to lock them out with control or just randomly combo off out of nowhere. I have a feeling the attrition-based decks are going to be tough, but they've always been tough. And, we're probably going to have to win the wars in the post board where I'm going to side out the combo. So I definitely sided it out versus control. Or at least against control with a lot of removal. Siri loves Pure Sight Marrow, I guess so. Pure Sight, was there anything? Pure Sight? Pure Sight? Paradise? Oh, is it Paradise? Paradise Mantle? Paradise Mantle? I wonder if she's getting triggered by like one of these words that sounds like Siri or something. I've been dealing with Thassa's Oracle for as long as it's been out, so it's nice to see it in Modern. It's nice. Well, I don't know if it's nice to see it in Modern. It's a weird combo card, but finally we can take advantage of it. And like, okay, so you could say, what about Paradise Mantle? That's like a really junky card. True story. This is crap under any other conditions. But one of my greatest innovations for the deck is to play with Smuggler's Copter. So we at least have some room to discard the card when it's completely useless or if I have extra copies. Now, there were situations where this actually really helped because you can add 1 mana of any color. And so now if we want to play Dismember, we can actually save some life when we have Paradise Mantle equipped to a creature because we can tap it for a black and cast Dismember for less life. It was relevant. It was a relevant interaction if anyone was there watching. We're calling it Splinterfin. That's right. We're calling it Splinter. I took Splinterfin to some competitive EDH prominent folks, and it was this is the janky stuff I love. I just watched a video where you mentioned you were getting engaged. I wanted to come by, say congratulations, and wish you the best. Oh, thank you very much. I don't know if we can call it engaged. Sure, we can call it engaged. I'm engaged. As far as I'm concerned, I'm already married. It's just not formal yet. We made a Jeskai Sensi combo deck that was Splinterfin and Jeskai Sensi and Kiki combo lines. Oh my god. That's a lot of combos all in one. Jaybird 5x5. Thank you very much for the 4 months in a row. Hope you'll still be around. I know Jaybird 5x5, you always show up for the Coffee and MTG. Hope you'll still be around for the gameplay. Oh, Chubby Meatball, you want to come? You want to come say hi? Chubby Meatball? Chubby Meatball's around. I can hear her. She makes the purring sound. Explain we can call it engaged. We can call it engaged stuff. I mean, like I'm basically married based on like common laws. I've been living with my girlfriend or my wife now for forever. So like, and then she's like, you can't call me your wife until you have the ring. And then like I postponed like buying this ring for forever. The ring just came in this Friday. She's very happy with the ring. The ring was great. So thank you everyone on Twitch and Patreon. I basically blew a month's worth of donations on her wonderful ring. I don't even have a ring right now because I'm like really picky about what it's gonna. I actually want something really, really simple for myself, but at the same time, I wore some rings in a mall and like they feel really sharp around my finger, and I want some things that are not so sharp. Because I like fiddling with stuff, and I have a feeling I'm gonna fiddle with the ring, and it needs to feel really soft and smooth on my finger. And I really want to buy something online, but I really need to experience it for myself. And trying to return things back to the United States from Canada is a little complicated right now. I can try to donate the deck to Spike, or I can give you 6 subs over the 6 subs over the month. You choose whatever you want. It's all good. It's your money. May I recommend a fun deck to review next with new eyes? Go for, to review. Just report. What do you mean review? You want feed? If you want feedback, we'll have time in the second part of the show for Decklist review. But if like a new deck you want to show, like, hey, let's talk about this. This is interesting. You can just submit that. That's no problem. Do you still have any interest in your Naban Wizard Merfolk deck for Pioneer? That was a fun one. Nope, because I've gone all in on Spirits. I mean, I bought all the Spirits pieces. I just don't have Skyclave Apparition, but I basically have everything else. When we go back to Pioneer, you better believe that I'm going to be sleeving up Spirits. Like, Naban still has some promise, but we got to wait for some better Wizards to come out. We could be close. But like we need a little something more. That's all I gotta say. And we need Walking Ballista. If Walking Ballista banned, what is Walking Ballista banned? I totally forgot. That actually helps. It helps the Wizard deck. I can't remember if they banned it or not. Oh, they banned it in Pioneer. Maybe so. Actually, that's a huge boost to the Wizard deck, to be honest, because they were mostly 1 toughness creatures. Master of Waves and the ban itself, like the good stuff, like the heavy hitting cards were 1 toughness. The fact that Walking Ballista is banned in Pioneer helps so much. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Walking Ballista got banned like basically when Pioneer died, or not. It was completely killed, but it's in a lot of trouble. Pioneer will be back. It's just that like Wizards needed to take action on this format immediately when the combo decks were clearly taking over, and like their data said, oh, it was, the combo decks weren't doing so well. Well, maybe okay. You know what? In retrospect, thinking about the theory about like the combo decks only getting like win rates of 50%. Maybe that's because there's so many combo decks that overall it's a wash. Let's say 100% of the metagame was Inverter. Then technically the win rate of Inverter is 50% because like it's going to be a wash between the winners and the losers. There's just so many combo decks, then probably it just didn't look like it was doing so well. It's probably how it ended up being. Congrats to the wedding. Official stuff. Pretty official. I guess it'll be super official when I learn how to find the documents necessary to be officially married. People want their Wizards, but I'm still probably going to stick with Spirits. Like, I like how the deck has like all the tools, and I like how it runs. Why have I never seen red decks board and boil against those Titan decks? Which red decks? There are a lot of red decks that are boarding in boil, but I'm guessing you're talking about like the Abosh Prowess deck, and I'm guessing they don't bring in Boil because they think they already have a really good game and they don't need the help of Boil. Like they're just gonna burn them out and aggro them out. I imagine like, because I've seen this Abosh deck, it's like it grinds so well. It has just infinite damage. I think it does pretty well against both Titan decks and control decks that it doesn't really need Boil. I mean, Boil also is a Gotham card. If you want to talk specifically, okay, let's get Boil on the board. If we talk specifically Boil against specifically Titan, so from what I hear is you could get the Titan decks, like, and by the way, the interaction is Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Too many L's. So Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which is one of their pieces to win the game, you may play additional blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types. That helps trigger Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle. This land. But there's a downside to going this way, because all your lands are mountains, but all your lands are islands. So you get smacked by Boil, destroy all islands. But here's the problem. If the Titan deck can sniff it out and see it coming, they'll just not play their Dryad of the Elysian Grove. They'll just play like a Primeval Titan and beat you the old-fashioned way, the slow way, with like Field of the Deads and stuff like that. So it's not a reliable. It's not a reliable strategy. Oh, that's a really good point. Boyle has an even CMC, so that they can't play a Bosch. So if they play Boyle, they cannot play a Bosch in their deck. I mean, it's something they could sacrifice if they think it was worthwhile. But even given that they don't even need to play their Dryad of the Elysian Grove to necessarily win the game, makes Boyle awkward. Boyle is still brought in against these decks a lot, but probably the mono red. Well, okay. I think maybe the sole reason is this: Boyle has an even CMC, but I still don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Kyoka 620 subscribed for 3 months in a row. Thank you very much, Kyoka 620, and Slayerfall subscribed for 2 months in a row. That is a great life choice, subscribing for the second month in a row. I really appreciate it, guys. Paradise Mantle gives us some more fight against Blood Moon. Yes. I was just thinking, so getting back to the conversation. And thanks for the congratulations. I think I saw a bunch of congratulations stuff here. Oh, Jaybird says, good afternoon, people. Excellent. The subscription. Yeah. Can't play Bull because of a Bosch. And Fluxador also just subscribed. Thank you very much. We got like a subscription train going on here. Okay, talking about Paradise Mantle. Okay, so Paradise Mantle is an equipment. I just realized Karn the Great Creator is screwing me even extra harder. Karn the Great, because now I can't equip the creature with Karn the Great Creator on the board. So it's actually possible I got a lot weaker versus specifically Eldrazi-tron. Eldrazi-tron might have like just ultimately screwed me hard because of what's it called? If anyone saw my Splinter Fin deck, I removed Spreading Seas. So if I don't have Spreading Seas, my opponent has a bunch of creatures on the board and Karn the Great Creator, I can't combo off. I can't push damage. I can't get rid of Karn. I'm ultimately ruined. Oh, more subscribers. Mad Cow Chicken, thank you very much for the subscription. And Zlee Rock, thank you very much for the subscription. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it. Hope you all enjoy the show. I just did 5 sub. I owe you 1 sub. Okay, thank you very much. Let's see how well Spike does with my Splinter Fin deck. Plays a lot of stuff, but how well will he do with the Splinter Fin? Maybe he can help. Maybe he can make some innovations to it as well. He'll have some good things to say. He plays a lot of archetypes, so he might have a really good perspective of what could change or improve the deck. So Ross says, I've just been picking up Death and Taxes pieces last few weeks. I've been really enjoying that deck across Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy. There's a Death and Taxes in Pioneer. I know there's like a mono white Devotion deck, sort of. Is it still around? Because Walking Ballista's banned. I guess there's still some sort of mono white value deck, and but of course in Modern and Legacy, it's a great deck. It's perfect. Well, thank you very much, Siege Sente. Thank you very much, Cactus of Ishmok. Remember, waifu face reveal at 100,000 subs on YouTube. I didn't tell her that, but I'll force her to do it if it ever happens. I think the worst enemy of Splinter Fin is timing out. Okay, so turns out we can use the hotkey to automatically pay mana and reduce clicks. So actually, we probably can get through this combo really a lot faster. People say you can hold down W to automatically pay the mana online, because if anyone watches me actually execute this combo. By the way, hold on. Let's get back to the combo. There's something very important. Okay. There's 2 ways you could do this. You could play Pure Sight Marrow and Paradise Mantle. Oops, you can't see what I'm talking about. You can play Paradise Mantle with Pure Sight Marrow, exile your library, then play Thassa's Oracle and win the game. That's not the way to do it. The way to do it, to get your opponent to concede much faster, is get Pure Sight Marrow and Paradise Mantle together, then cast Thassa's Oracle, and with the trigger on the stack, exile your library. So as your opponent realizes, as like you exile the top card, the next top card, the next top card, they can see it. They can see the writing on the wall. Like, I can't interact with this combo, and eventually I'm going to win. So they'll say, in my experience, they have forced me. They conceded early. Under one condition, someone made me exile my entire library because they're like, I want to see what's in your deck. Like, what's going on here? But you maximize, because if you just go Pure Sight Marrow, Paradise Mantle, exile your deck first, your opponent might not know what's going on, like how they're actually going to lose. So with the Thassa's Oracle trigger on the stack, exile your library. That's the best way of going about this combo. Save yourself time, because a lot of your opponents are going to give up because they have better things to do than watch you for 10 minutes combo off. Yeah, Karn is a beating with Mantle. Okay, so if I am not mistaken, if I equip this immediately, can I still use this? I think the creature, like once I've equipped the Pure Sight Marrow, once that is happened, I think I can still combo off in the face of a Karn. Yeah, the creature is the one with the ability. But the problem is if Karn's on the battlefield and I have not got this equipped. So in this case, and in this matchup, I might aggressively play my Paradise Mantle and equip it very, very quickly before Karn gets onto the battlefield. The good thing about Splinterfin is that you don't have to exile the entire deck. I guess with the trigger on the stack, if your opponent's not interacting with your board, I mean, you could leave 4 cards left, I guess, because the devotion, Thassa's Oracle says if X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So, and X is your devotion on the battlefield. So if your devotion is 4, you could technically go down to 4 cards and then let the thing resolve, because you'll have 4 devotion between Thassa's Oracle and Pure Sight Marrow. And then if you have more devotion with other creatures, then you don't actually have to. You could go even less cards. And then if your opponent interacts with anything on the battlefield, you like your devotion, then you just exile more cards in response. Yeah, Corn only stops the equip, but I do need to equip first. Oh, this is actually more problematic. If you already have it equipped, you'll still die to Crackback, since Karn +1 will destroy the mantle. True story. So it looks like this combo sucks versus specifically Eldrazi-Tron. Won't be good. Blada says, I will admit, I just bought these pieces foiled out. I've already saw people have their foiled out Paradise Mantles, foiled out Pure Sight Marrows. What is a Pure Sight Marrow now in foil? Let's go check it out. Has the market moved already for Paradise? Like, let's go to Pure Sight Marrow TCG player. Is the market moving already? Pure Sight Marrow, worthless, 17 cents. But where's the foil? Foil is at $1.72. There's still time, people. Let's filter. Let's filter for foil. Because this is an old card. No results. It's over. Someone spec'd on all of them. Someone bought them all. They're gone. And they're gone, people. There aren't many foil mantles out there at the moment. Yeah, there are 0. Okay, let's look at... Okay, so let's take some time to thank our sponsors, starting with themanabase.com, the content creation site on Commander, Modern, Historic, Pioneer, and more. Podcast videos and articles. The Manabase is your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And the Manabase is sponsored by Fusion Gaming Online, my favorite local game store. The deal of the week this week, save 20% off old Double Masters singles. And also, what do they have for Pure Sight Marrow? Do they have any Pure Sight Marrows in stock? They probably have Pure Sight Marrow, but everything's gone. Pure Sight Marrow and foil is gone. My God, this thing's probably going to go up. It's already... I don't know if I had any influence on this, or maybe they were gone the moment that Thassa's Oracle was revealed, but like, they're gone, people. They're gone. Might be too late. We're also going to thank our sponsor, Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or if you want to save some money trying out the service, you can save 15% off your first 3 months using my coupon code Nikachu. The internet moves fast. I'm just curious to know, were they always sold out or did they just sell out? Not to be rude, how long do you rock a league, you think? No gameplay today. I have gameplay Mondays and Sundays, and sometimes and I would say Saturdays as well. So you can catch me doing the Modern Challenge on Saturday and Sunday, and also you can catch me at around 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch on Monday. But every other day I have no gameplay. Sorry to ruin your expectations. Every other day it's just the Coffee and MTG discussion. Yeah, and it's gone. They're all gone. Card Kingdom has one pure site. Oh my god, we're moving pure site. We're moving pure site Marrow. Pure site Marrow is moving. Okay, let's go look at let's go to Magic Card Market. Oops. Card Market. What's the... Here you go, Magic Card Market Europe. When I was in Europe, I bought cards from here. Also sold cards here. Okay, so search. Pure site Marrow. Well, I have to say, like, the Asian cards in this on this site is terrible. Sorry, no posts found. No one's selling Pure site Marrow? Yeah, I had that right. No one is selling Pure site Marrow. You gotta be kidding me. Am I on the right website here? Or is it? Or did they change their name to Card Market? Oh, they changed their name to... I think this is it. Yeah, they changed their name to Card Market. Okay, Pure site Marrow. They rebranded themselves. Okay, we want foils. I want a filter. I'm gonna filter for foils. Where was the filters? I know you got them. Quantity extra. Why don't you have the foil one? Or is there like no foils available? Oh, here we go. Yes, filter. What do we got? Oh, you can get tons in Italian. No problem. Okay, English. €7. Get the hell out of here. Extremely good condition. Wow. This card saw no play anywhere. Look at it on MTG stocks. Let's go look at it in MTG stocks. What's the trend with Pure site Marrow? And now let's look at foil. So it just it skyrocketed before me, and then it collapsed, and now it's making like a bit of a rebound. So I think people did spec on this when the original when that combo was revealed. People are like, you know what? If it works today, it's going to be great, and if it doesn't work today, it's going to be great one day. So actually, the the market already moved earlier, but I'm pretty sure we are responsible for this tiny little blip at the end. I don't know if anyone could see it. There's like a little bit of blip. It's going up, a little bit of trend, because it was skydiving. I mean, it was free falling. People like, oh god, we got to sell these Pure site Marrows. No one needs these things. And now all of a sudden, I'm gonna make a 5-0. I'm like, oh, we need these things. Oh my god, we got to buy our Pure site Marrows. Yeah, the replays are on the YouTube channel, but only on Nikachu MTG streams. But I appreciate you hanging out though, when you can show up. Remember, Mondays, Saturdays, Sundays. I might have like random gameplay here and there, but for the most part, I don't have the time. How is Fusion Gaming buy list cash price higher than market prices of cards on eBay? Because it's in Canadian prices. It's a Canadian site. Fusion Gaming Online, my favorite local game store, Canadian websites. So it's 450 Canadian dollars. Got to do the conversion. What is 450? You can, if let's look at, they're going to give you 450 cash for Mox Diamond. Let's go 450 Canadian in USD. $342 for your near mint Mox diamonds. That's how it works. Near mint Mox diamonds. You want to do some other conversions? Got to do the conversions, people. The conversions. Grim Monolith. Oh, let's just go here. You'll lose some money in conversion too, by the way. So what was it? 250? Get out of here. Because your credit card company will take some money off of it. They're gonna give you 195 US dollars. Canadian website. Yeah, exactly. The Canadian dollar, for as good as our economy is and all that, it's worthless. Our dollar is just crap compared to every other dollar or pound or euro or any other currency. I don't even know what the Canadian dollar beats anymore. It feels like we're really, like a really developed nation and all that. I don't feel like Canada is anywhere even close to being impoverished or anything like that. I feel like I'm on the same level as the United States, but for some reason our dollar is worthless compared to the rest. Yeah, it's like, okay, we're doing better than the Polish zloty. Poland is actually in a very similar spot as Canada. What the hell is with our deflated currency for? Still a lot for a Grim Monolith. Hey, you know what? Fusion Gaming always buying. They give good prices. They're actually, you know what? They're pretty good with the prices. I really like Fusion Gaming. It's my favorite local game store. And they want your cards. So that's how the business keeps running. They buy the cards, they sell the cards. Canada beats all dollars minus the USD, euro, or pound. I guess all the other dollars. I don't get it. We're buddies with the United States, and we have Canada has a really high GDP per capita. I don't know why the dollar has to be so crappy. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It's like whatever. Good morning, Otten10. We need to wait to sell my ticks because USD is this 3.69 now, and it was 4.3 a couple months before. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you could wait. Maybe it'll go back up. It fluctuates. The problem is if you wait long enough and then you really need the money, you might end up selling at a price lower just because you really need it at the time that you need it. Your dollar is only crappy if you compare it to the America, right? No, if I compare it to pounds, if I compare it to euros, if I compare it to yen, it's all garbage. I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, we all lose to the almighty euro. All right, so do you know what time it is, people? It's Decklist review time. Let's move into Decklist review. This is going to be the last time we get to do Decklist review with our, what's it called? Oh my God, my coffee's empty. You got to refill that cup. Refill your cup, everyone. Everyone needs to refill their cup of coffee. I got my coffee ready. I had a full cup. I was ready for this whole show. So this is going to be the last time we use the command ! Deck review space URL. Give any comments. I guess we could still use the command just so I can see it. But in the future, you'll only be able to submit the deck list right now when I say so, and then I just gotta pick them at random. I'll just be and maybe I'll even change it. Subs will get priority, patrons will get priority. I'll have maybe I'll have some space in my Discord for people to submit lists, and we go by queue. And then when I'm done through the queue, I can maybe we'll do something like that. But for now, I would still prefer to have public deck lists to look at. But maybe it'll be less chaotic if I have a queue in my Discord. Right now, it's still nice to have some public stuff. Yay, new subs. Subs are good. Did I get a sub? Did I miss something? Oh, Bellata gave out some subs. Gave out 2 tier 1 community gift subs. Thank you very much, Bellata. I appreciate it. Actually, how many? You gave out 5? You gave out 5. Oh, you were saying something about that earlier. Thank you very much. You gave out 5. Oh, you're very generous, Bellata. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. That's a whole lot of gift subs, as Saikuna would say. That is a whole lot of gift subs. What set did I start with? I want to say masks, Mercadian masks, but that's not actually the set. That's the first booster I ever cracked. But I got into Magic in a very short while afterwards Invasion just came out. So that's basically the era that I started playing Magic. My very first booster. That's a good conversation. What was the very first booster you cracked? What set was it? Does everyone remember? Everyone, the smell of that glue coming from the Magic cards. Oh, you don't get that smell anymore. Old boosters had such an addictive smell inside. It had a very distinct scent of glue on the inside, or ink or something. Oh, we got the conversation going now. What set did we start? We've got Mad Cow 4th edition. Holy shit, you're an old timer. You're OG right now. Mirrodin, Throne of Eldraine. You're a new one, Phil Swifty. My God, you're just 1 year old. You're a baby. Origins, Dominaria. That's pretty new. That's interesting. So there's quite a few people who are like showing up in the new age of Magic and still appreciating it. Not complaining how good it was back then. It's still good now. Onslaught, 7th edition from Mild Bobby Sauce. First opened Return to Ravnica, but I started playing for real with Ixalan. I hear what you mean. I remember buying a Goblin Precon deck from like 8th edition. Oh, 4th edition was last. Oh, revives. I see. Okay. Onslaught. But I started playing FNMs. No, do you know what? I was playing still a little bit after Onslaught. Onslaught was starting like the set that I'm like, you know, I'm getting burned out of Magic. I'm gonna take a break. Gonna play chess. Gonna become a chess master while I'm away. Then I came back to Magic. In the end, Magic won. Magic won out of a lot of other hobbies. I still play chess, of course. Battle for Zendikar. Magic 14. Mirrodin. Was Mirrodin when Standard went to hell? Like, how did so many people join this game near Mirrodin and are still talking about it? Yeah, so many of you are super new or super old. There's like nothing in between. Like, where's the people who started playing at like Rise of Eldrazi or something? Like, that was a pretty good block. That was a good block. Champions of Kamigawa. That's an interesting block to start playing the game. Is there an easy way to price out individual cards on Magic the Gathering Online collections? Do you know what? There's got to be some answer because there's quite a few people. Well, maybe it's because people made their own spreadsheets, but I know there are several people online who keep track of that. They keep track of the value of their collection online. I have no idea how they do it. As far as I'm concerned, they do it themselves with a spreadsheet. My first booster was Mercadian Mask, but I really started playing in Scourge. Here's the follow-up question. The first booster you opened, do you remember the rare? Do you remember your first rare that you cracked? I can tell you what my rare was. Two-headed dragon. And because of it, I was a little biased towards the card. I even made the effort to squeeze it into my standard deck at the time. Pretty good. It was still a pretty good card overall. 6 mana for a 4/4 flyer. It was a big mana sink. I mean, if this thing resolved, my opponent was dead next turn because they can't block it because it can only be blocked by 2 or more creatures. And what are the odds you have 2 flying creatures? Like, that's not happening. That's just not happening. So what is everybody's first rare? A Scarecrow. Foil Ulamog? Holy crap. No idea. It must have been some bulk stuff. I'm just curious to know if it had an impression. Like, I thought this was a pretty badass rare when I got it. It was in let's see the original masks, Mercadian masks. That's it. That's the dragon. There be dragon in these lands, burning up the people. That was a nice art. I thought this art by Sam Wood was pretty badass. Thought it was pretty cool. First rare, Chronicles Nicol Bolas, and I have a feeling that made a really big impression on you, Lord Magicus. I have a feeling that set the precedent for you for basically up to the Magic player you are today. I don't, but I bet my net worth it was a crap rare, probably. So that's interesting. So some people don't remember at all. Some people remember. My first rare was a Johnny Collar of the Pride. See, that's something you can remember, you know, a Johnny. You opened up a mythic. You're like, someone probably said, "Whoa, man, that's a mythic! You got a mythic! Oh my, I've never opened up a mythic before. That is a good card. That's a good one. You got to make a token deck. You got to make mono white tokens with this thing for some nonsense like this." I don't know what this card should actually get jammed and put a +1/+1 counter on target. That's probably not a very good token generating card. Target creature gains flying and doubles. Yeah, this is not a token. This is not for a token deck. The first things opened: Vraska, Pirate Captain, and then Rick's pre-release. Pre-release, I opened my first pre-release kit with Twilight Prophet. Inkwell Leviathan. That's a pretty sick card. Hey, if anyone's watching on the replay, you can still participate in the comment section below. What was the first booster you opened? What was the first rare? If you can remember. I can tell. It's like people remember the super OP cards, but people don't remember like the crappy cards. Grim Poppet. Okay, that one I don't know. Grim Poppet was opened. 7 mana, 4/4, ETB 3. Well, that sucks. Remove a -1/-1 counter, put a -1/-1 counter on another target creature. Hey, for 0 mana, that's not so bad. It's actually a pretty sick ability. My first rare would have been from Ice Age. They didn't mark them back then. Yeah, I get it. So if the people from way back then, you might not even have known your rares, unless it was like obviously a rare. You started a whole new conversation. Absolutely. It's nice to reminiscence of the old days. Don't remember the first rare, but my first pre-release promo was Temple of Abandon. I remember Sunblast Angel being the first card I added to a deck from a booster. Oh, the old Angel decks. This is that's another conversation in itself. What are the top 10 decks people like always buy into like first? There's like Angels, Vampires, Walls, Flyers. Angel is definitely like tier. It's like tier 1 beginner deck. You know what I mean? People love their Angels and Elves. Angels, Elves, Vampires. I'm sure Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Twilight has something to do with the vampire thing. That was super Ode in Scars Limited. Oh, I get it. OP in Scars Limited. Still trying to build that Jareth EDH deck. Oh yeah, Demons. I miss old Modern. My first deck was an Artifact Sacrifice deck with Scuttling Doom engine. You can still make that Artifact Sacrifice deck. It's just call it Hardened Scales these days. All right, let's do some deck list review. Good morning, Jundicide. It's going to be the last deck review pick, and then it's going to get complicated for me. Balada's deck list has been chosen. This is a Pyromancer deck, shell with recasting spells for so much extra value. Alrighty then. Alright then. Alright, my fishy boys and girls. Let's go check out Pioneer Multi-Spell. We got Bone Crusher. You know what? This is a tier 1 deck already. Bone Crusher Giant basically should be any deck that's running red. I don't even know the reason why you would not want to run Bone Crusher Giant. I mean, the value is just insane. I mean, this could be even in a control deck. I could imagine this as just being a win condition. There's so many control decks out there that Snapcaster Mage is like the only way they can win the game. Bone Crusher Giant is just way better than that. Okay, Dreadhorde Arcanist. I have a feeling this might not be a very good shell for Dreadhorde Arcanist because you just don't have that many things in the graveyard, and like Cling to Dust isn't even worth. I guess it's okay, but I mean, you just drawing cards, gaining 3 life, not the greatest value. Magmatic Channeler, again, not okay. If you want to lean on these, you need more instants and sorceries. Bone Crusher Giant doesn't count in the graveyard; counts as a creature. So you need more instants. Like I can see your instants. Do we have Oh, we do have sorceries. Okay, we do have something for sorceries. Light Up the Stage, though, going to be very difficult to cast from the graveyard because it's just the casting cost equal to paying its mana cost. Yeah, so it's going to be difficult to cast that, or near damn impossible to cast the Light Up the Stage. Seagate Stormcaller. ETB, copy target the next instant or sorcery spell with convert mana cost 2 or less. You cast this turn, or you cast it. If Seagate Stormcaller was kicked, copy the spell twice. You may choose new targets for the copy. Soulscar Mage, Young Pyromancer. Okay, here's my advice. Scrap this card. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, do we even have that many blue cards? We're going to scrap the blue out of this deck. This is just no point. Just, what about the sideboard? You can play Ashik just on black. Yeah, we don't have enough for blue. I mean, forget about the Ether Gust. So Seagate Stormcaller needs to turn into like more spells, more instants and sorceries. This is Pioneer. Because this, okay, your synergy. Contra was here for the 5-0. There's gonna be no 5-0s today. Oh, but hey, were you there yesterday, Contra? Were you there? Were you there, Contra? Were you there, Contra? I hope you were there. You were there in the beginning. I hope you were there in the end, because I would have made you proud. So this is Pioneer. What do we have? Okay, we need some more stuff. Wait, what happened yesterday? Everything happened yesterday, Phil Swifty. Everything happened. It was like a huge celebration, massive celebration. So anyway, we got. You need more instants and sorceries on this deck for 2 reasons: to flash back with Dreadhorde Arcanist, and also to get value from your Magmatic Channeler. I mean, you need 4 or more instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard just for this thing to become a 3/4 creature. You don't have enough in your deck. Like not even close. You have 20. We need to up that count. Like Delver decks, they're super heavy on the instants and sorceries for a reason. And same thing with Young Pyromancer. Like you're gonna play this Young Pyromancer and Soulscar Mage and find yourself you're just casting creatures for the most part, not actually doing anything with them. Yeah, be ready for a very interesting 5-0 deck list to be published. Very unusual. So here's my recommendation. We got to get rid of Seagate Stormcaller, and I bet you should get rid of Soulscar Mage. Or do we? It'd be nice to have at least something at 1 mana, because I think you were clogged at 2 mana. Young Pyromancer. Maybe it's okay. But I think you have too many things at 2 mana. So maybe we scrap. Okay, I give you this much. You could be clogged at 2 mana. Yeah, I understand, but you cannot flash it back. First off, it's not going to count towards an instant or sorcery in your graveyard with Magmatic Channeler, and it's not going to count, and you're never going to cast it from your graveyard with Dreadhorde Arcanist. So it doesn't count to the synergy of the deck. It's just too creature heavy overall. It's too creature heavy. If you want to play, these cards are great. These are great cards, by the way. I think these are great cards. Can't play Bolt. It's Pioneer. We're playing Pioneer. So I think we should dump the blue. Okay, there's Wild Slash. I know there's Shock. There's Fatal Push. What is there for like? Maybe Thoughtseize is great. I have nothing against Thoughtseize. Play Thoughtseize. Okay, let's just look it up. Let's look up instants and sorceries for 1 mana that you can play in Pioneer. Let's see our options. I think the deck is fine, but we need to fill it up with more useful 1 mana cards. So we want instant or sorcery. Colors, not blue, sorry, red and black. At most, these colors seems to be equal to 1. Legal in Pioneer. Because otherwise the Dreadhorde Arcanist isn't going to be... Huh? Do I got to cut one out? We got to look at this one at a time? I don't know how to search and... Or... No, this isn't gonna work. I don't know. Okay, let's just look at instants first. These look bad. Cling to Dust is like, okay, this can be your like opt, for example. Claim to Fame and Village of Rights. I think Village of Rights, the cost is too high in a deck like this. Like Shock is Disfigure is a card. So Disfigure is a possibility. Kills a lot of stuff. Oh, this is flavorful. Eye Gouge. Everyone ever know about this card? It's 1 black. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. If it's a Cyclops, which means it has 1 eye, destroy it instead. Okay, you got Fatal Push. Fatal Push is good. I have nothing against Shock. We have Lightning Axe. But I don't know if that has magma spray is a possibility. Rending volley might be good for the sideboard. Next 60. Spikefield Hazard will only be a land in the graveyard. Oh no, it won't be a land in the graveyard. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be a spell. Deals 1 damage to any target. Maybe this is possible. Maybe more wild slashes. It also could be Thoughtseize. So now let's change this to sorcery. What sorcery is this? Oh, Bloodchief's Thirst. I mean, this is gas. This is super gas, right? Hold on. How does this card work? You may cast target instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost less than or equal to Dreadhorde Arcanist's power from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So I mean, this is this card is gas. Bloodchief's Thirst is fantastic because you could. I mean, you're probably only going to You're only going to flash it back from the graveyard for free to kill 2 mana things of 2 mana or less. But if you draw it in the late game, you can kill big things. What's Titan Strength? Everyone's talking about. I don't like Crash Through. Despise might not be too bad, not the greatest. Thoughtseize, you could have more Thoughtseizes, just period. Okay, so I mean, we went through. You could add like more shock effects or definitely Bloodchief's Thirst, because you need to up the number of cards that are going to trigger your Young Pyromancer, to trigger the Magmatic Channeler, to trigger the Dreadhorde Arcanist. I don't think you have enough cards. You're actually a little too creature heavy for a deck that's trying to rely heavily on instants and sorceries, in my opinion. And I think the blue splash is quite poor because your blue splash depends on like 1 mana cards that you want to play like probably early on in the game. So you need like a heavy blue splash, and if you have a very light blue splash, which you do, then like I think these opts are somewhat close to unplayable. What are people talking about? Yeah, it's good for discarding to fill the graveyard, but we want the card advantage. So sideboard, I would also look to play, like, you got the Bloodchief's Thirst here. I would also look to play with more, because you have no good way of buffing this thing, right? I mean, some people are recommending Titan Strength, but I think that's a pretty janky card. I could be wrong. Maybe it's good. So I would recommend remove Seagate Stormcaller. I might want to take out Young Pyromancer. You could keep it if you really like this, and you have to take out Soulscar Mage. And then turn 1, you just do nothing. But I think a decent idea is to have at least one 1-drop. And one option is to sacrifice your Young Pyromancer. And then as you attack, you start killing things. Just so you have a curve, because right, if we take out Soulscar Mage, then you have nothing to do on 1 mana. Turn 1. Would Magmatic Insight be too situational? As an additional cost to cast Magmatic Insight, discard a land card, draw 2 cards. It's just that it's not high impact. You're basically spending mana to draw. You're spending mana and cards to just draw cards. You looted. You basically exchange 2 cards to draw 2 cards. But with these sort of decks, you at the very least want to be impacting the battlefield, impacting your opponent's hand. But the problem with, okay, you're talking about Titan Strength. This card is like, it's okay, but you can get blown out if your opponent kills your creature in response. This is a very awkward card to play. If there's a lot of removal in the format, and there's always removal in the format, you'll just get blown out. Because you sort of have to use it ahead of time if you want to target your target your Dreadhorde Arcanist so you can flash back bigger cards from the graveyard. Actually, you know what? No, I can't because of Bone Crusher Giant. It can't free roll Lurrus. Close. You got me excited for a second, Shadow Walk. You got me excited for a second. I guess I'm not like honestly, I'm not a fan of Village Rites. I mean, maybe Village Rites. Okay, I'll give you this. Young Pyromancer in Village Rites looks pretty good because you make tokens and then you can sack the tokens away. So if anyone doesn't know, Village Rites says it's an instant as an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. Because it's going to replace itself with Young Pyromancer, right? I could see that happening. But for the most part, there's a lot of stuff that you don't want to sacrifice. So this card might be awkward. You know what I mean? I mean, you can always use it in response to your opponent's removal spell. You sacrifice and then draw cards. So, you know, I mean, 1 mana, draw 2, not the worst. It's not the worst. You could draw Bone Crusher to add Lurrus. It's an idea you have to balance out. You got to play test and see what's better. Because honestly, Bone Crusher Giant is gas. It's so good. Like, there are not many, like, 4/3 creatures attached to, like, removal. And also, you know, damage can't be prevented. That can be, that could be really useful somewhere in the future. Might even be useful now. I don't know what pro-red stuff there is in the format. Anyway, I hope that was some useful feedback. I believe it's Bellotta. This was your deck list that was chosen. Yeah, it was your deck list. Hope that was some useful feedback. Go with it. Take it as you will. Also, maybe adjust your sideboard to have a lower curve with your spells. I don't know if you need like Kolaghan's Command maybe is fine, but it's also expensive, so it's very difficult to cast with or get back from the graveyard with your Dreadhorde Arcanist. All right, let's do quickly another one. Deck review pick. Dr. Stack's deck list has been chosen. Attempting to be a value deck. The Dark Wood. All right, we got Dryad Arbor, Birds of Paradise, Carrion Feeder, Noble Hierarch, Kosali Pride Mage, Safi Eric's Daughter. When target creature is put into your graveyard from play, return that card to the battlefield. Oh no, you sacrifice this thing. When target creature is put into the graveyard from play, return it to the battlefield. Okay. Tide Hellscaller and Offense of the Foremost, Renegade Rallier. This is super value. Restoration Angel. So you maxed out on these Noble Hierarchs, the Birds of Paradise. You got Dryad Arbor here. Fatal Push Path, Bitter Ordeal. So target player's library for a card, then remove it from the game. That player shuffles his or her library. 3 Forest, Overgrown Tomb, 2 Plains, Sun Petal Grove. Is that the best land you can have? I think even in Abzan colors, I would prefer that you're playing something like probably one of the Horizon lands. You should probably have maybe a few Horizon lands in here. Maybe I'm wrong, but like these are pretty crappy lands. I mean, we do have a Horizon land for black, green, and blue, white. Sorry, for Selesnya and Golgari, we do have some. Yeah, so we have Silent Clearing. And what's the other one? Oh, the other one is Horizon Canopy. And we have Horizon Canopy. So like, I think you could upgrade Sun. Like the problem is, here's the problem with some Sun Petal Grove, Woodland Cemetery hands. Sometimes these are the only, you have like a hand of like a few Birds of Paradise and a Woodland Cemetery, and you have like Woodland Cemetery, Plains, Birds of Paradise, but the hand is garbage because you can't get this Birds of Paradise or Noble Hierarch out on turn 1 because this Woodland Cemetery doesn't work with your Plains. But whereas with Silent Clearing and hold on, is it Silent Clearing? No, I don't want this one. What's the Golgari one? Peatland Cemetery? Oops, no, Peatland. Oh, sorry, Nurturing Peatland. So nurturing peatland, sacrifice nurturing, like, so it's like the deal is these sometimes are a liability. You know, you're gonna have some like bad hands with you're gonna have some like really sometimes you end up with these awkward hands because of woodland cemetery. You just don't have the you don't have the lands to cast your your mana dorks early on in the game. I'll tell you, I really like cards like Anafenza the Foremost. This is a great one because whenever a creature would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So this is like great main deck graveyard hate. What else? We've got Kasali Pride Mage, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Fantastic. Restoration Angel. Does this have a lot of value here? Usually Restoration Angel is great, but you don't have that many ETB creatures. Not to say that you need them. I mean, I guess you have Renegade Rallier. This is the only ETB creature you have. And works really well with Kasali Pride Mage and Safi, Eric's daughter. So the idea is you can sacrifice Safi, Eric's daughter, and then bring it back with Renegade Rallier. And then ideally, whatever Eric's daughter Safi, Eric's daughter was bringing back, it's all going to come back. It would be nice if you had some more ETB stuff with this, but it's okay. What does Bitter Ordeal say? Search target player's library for a card and remove that card from the game. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Search target player's library for a card. So it's like, it's not surgical extraction. I'm not in love with this card. I'm not in love with this card, to be honest. I'm not in love with this card. I think it should be something else, but I can't tell you what it is. Awe Strike, Soul Guide Lantern, Swallow Hole. What is Swallow Hole? As an additional cost to cast this spell, tap an untapped creature you control. Exile target tapped creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature tapped and I you know what? I don't think this is. I don't know what's a good sideboard for here, but you have some really weird sideboard choices. The next time a target creature would deal damage this turn, prevent that damage, you gain life. Like you have. Overall, you got like a solid main deck. But now we got like some really watered down sideboard choices. We need stronger, more powerful sideboard cards here. Like Stony Silence is a super powerful sideboard card. Something like Plague Crafter, ETB, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. This card's like okay. But like these aren't like game-ending sideboard cards. Okay, we're in Golgari colors. What should we... The Ordeal is a combo finish? Oh, let me know. So you're planning on getting the Canopy lands. Tide Hellas Color, it's an infinite. Explain. Is there an explanation here? Okay, we got Carrion Feeder. Oh, and there's something called Gravestorm. Whenever you play this spell, copy it for each permanent put in a graveyard this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. You know what this deck needs, right? Exclamation point Siege Rhino. Okay, so you Carrion Feeder, sack, Safi, target Rallier, sack Rallier. Does it happen immediately? When target creature is put into a graveyard and play this turn, return it to play. Renegade Rallier says enter the battlefield. If a permanent left the battlefield this turn, return. Okay, so they basically go back and forth. If that's true, I might want the fourth one of Safi, Eric's daughter, just so that you can like execute. I mean, I know it's legendary, but it maximizes your chance of getting this combo off. Oh, but hold on. Okay, you only have these two cards, but the card by itself, I guess by itself, it's like okay. No, it's a 3-card combo. You just need Eric's daughter, Renegade Rallier, and Bitter Ordeal. Or you need like one of these to die, I guess. I mean, Carrion Feeder is a thing. So, and the point is you just exile your opponent's graveyard? Yeah, it can work off fetches. You just need any sack outlet. Isn't Safi, Eric's daughter, a sack outlet? Whenever target creature is put into a graveyard from play this turn. Oh no, but I don't know how to start this combo by itself. Because you play Renegade Rallier. With the trigger on the stack, you already have to target something, but Eric's daughter hasn't left the battlefield yet. Well, okay, how easy is it to pull off this combo? It seems a bit... Okay, here, how about this? If this combo is so good, why don't you have more copies of this card? That would be my number one question in these situations. Well, if this combo is so reliable, why don't we have like, why aren't we running 4 Bitter Ordeal? Or even 3, so that we consistently get this off. Because I have a feeling this combo is not that consistent. Or if it is, you should have this thing, more copies of this in the main. Anyway, I'm suspicious of this card. I know you have a fancy combo, but if it's just a value deck, then you play it like a value deck. Well, the deck is a value deck. It's a value deck with a random combo, but it does not look like you're very confident in this combo, that you have 1 copy of this card. So either it's like really hard to assemble, or maybe this card is just so bad in multiples that it's not even worth playing. But the problem is, if it's so bad in multiples, it's probably bad as a 1-of. Like if you draw this in your starting hand, you're probably just down a card, period. It's not that bad. Like you can randomly just beat like an ad nauseum player with this, probably. You like crack a fetch, bitter ordeal them. To be honest, I'm surprised more decks don't play this. Look at this. When you play this spell, copy it for each permanent put in the graveyard this turn. Like, if I crack a fetch, I didn't even know this card existed. If I crack a fetch, and it's 3 mana, it costs like nothing. I may not have learned about a new combo, but I might have learned about like a really powerful like anti-combo card. Like, what if you just you crack fetch, bitter ordeal you Storm player, and then you exile the grape shots and the empty the warrens, because most combo decks have a backup combo card to win the game if you exile 1 copy. I never heard of this card. Why don't more... Okay, am I missing something? Why don't more decks play this? Yeah, it's 3 mana, but like, I mean, especially on the play, I mean, it's quite reasonable to cast this. Oh, it only hits 1 copy at a time? Oh, you're right. That's why. Okay, that's what I missed. Okay, I hate this card. I hate this card. I think you should just put it in the sideboard, where I don't know. If you're this confident about this card, I have a feeling this combo is not that reliable. And if it's not that reliable, then just like don't run it. Well, surgical is situational. You need the card to be in the graveyard to use it. This one you force it. Yeah, it's not all copies of a card. Yeah, you could put Vraska main. Like Vraska is totally fine in the main. Okay, let's talk about sideboard cards though. What are good sideboard cards for Abzan right now? I can imagine Assassin's Trophy. I can imagine Plague Engineer. I can imagine... This is actually not a bad Collected Company deck, to be honest. This actually looks like a really good... You have 32 creatures in here. This is a good Collected Company deck. Sure, 3 of them are Restoration Angel. Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer is a great one. Skyclave Apparition is probably a good one. It's probably a good one for the main deck as well. But Veil of Summer is a good one. Like, you need better sideboard cards. These are, like, really poopy. Like, Swallowhole is garbage. Awe of Strike is garbage. Playcrafter could be better. I don't think the Bitter Ordeal should be here. It's either main deck or none. Stony Silence is fine, but I don't know if there's enough artifact decks out there. But your Soul Guide Lanterns and your Stony Silences are, like, the best sideboard cards I see. So let's help out here. Veil of Summer, probably a great sideboard card for a deck like this. Even though it's like I guess it might be overkill for value, but this sort of fits what's a good sideboard card. Oh, so we are in a budget here, and Veil of Summer might also be breaking your budget. Okay, we need cheap, good sideboard cards. Let's list them, people. So Plague Engineer is out of the question. We need budget, abs, and sideboard cards. Autumn's Veil is a bit too crappy. Autumn's Veil is the watered down Veil of Summer, and it's watered down enough to be completely useless. Well, Rhino's not really a sideboard card. It's main deck. How expensive? It's like it's money. Mikey J's about to bring up the quote. It's money. We got Skyclave Apparition is it's money, $7. As much as Veil of Summer, which is crazy. This is a rare. This thing's uncommon. Deafening Silence. Each player can cast more than one non-creature spell each turn. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Damping Sphere. That could be one. These are affordable sideboard cards that interact with Tron. 88 cents. I like it. Deafening Silence hits. Each player can't cast more than one non-creature spell each turn. It will hit. It can hit Prowess, but it can also hit Storm. 2 more push, maybe? Is it how much is Fatal Push? Oh, Mystery Booster, it's $1. It's interesting. So maybe a few more Fatal Pushes? How about what's Core Firewalker cost? It's like a budget person's Oriok champion. 34 cents. I like Core Firewalker myself. Pro red. Whenever a player casts a red spell, you gain 1 life. Is Storm played? Yeah, Storm is played. The Chief just went 10-0 with the deck yesterday. It's still played. It's not super popular or anything, but it's around. It also like randomly hits Ad Nauseam because you part of its combo, and Ad Nauseam is relatively popular right now because it beats up on Prowess decks because they can't go like Angel's Grace into Ad Nauseam because they can only play 1 spell a turn. So I think Core Firewalker is a good budget card. What else? What's budget in Abs and colors? Burrington Forge Tender is an option. $0.23. Pro red, sack. Prevent all damage or red source of your choice would deal this turn. Oh, if you're online, yeah, it's going to be way cheaper in Tix. Everything is way cheaper in Tix. Everything's affordable online. Oh, Hornet's Nest. I wouldn't say this is a common... Oops. Where's the Hornet's Nest? Hornet's Nest. I wouldn't say this is a common sideboard card, but it's possible. 3 mana, 0/2 defender card. Whenever it takes damage, make that many 1/1 green insect creatures with Death Touch. Oh, this costs like something. It's like almost $1. That's no way in the budget. Or maybe. I don't know what this costs online, to be honest. Maybe it's with, I don't know, it's $1.74. But it's not really a sideboard card. This is more of a main deck card. Anyway, I hope that was valuable. Yeah, improve your sideboard, have some better stuff. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. So thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. Reminder, this was the last time Coffee and MTG is going to be aired on Twitch. I love everyone who shows up every single morning, all 50 to 60 of you, but we need to go bigger. We're going to go on YouTube, we're going to go on Facebook, and hopefully we're also going to go on Twitter. Maybe I'm even going to go on Instagram. I don't know what the limitations are of my this client. Gameplay still on Twitch. Find me Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. We still do gameplay, and then at the end of YouTube of the Coffee and MTG, I'll throw a link in the chat to follow me on Twitch when we do gameplay. It was nice watching me. Thank you very much, and it's all to you. All of you are doing great. I appreciate everyone showing up every morning. I'm glad that we have fun every single morning. So we can do our final raid. It's not the last time I'm ever going to raid someone, but this is going to be the last time I raid. Okay, you name a channel, I'm going to raid it. It's going to be up to everyone. Up to you. and we'll send you off. So there's gonna be less rating. I was never getting rated in the morning anyway, so we're gonna go to Aspiring Spike. Going to the Spike himself, the Spike of all the spikes, the one that aspires to be a Spike, is the best Spike. So as usual, thank you very much, everyone joining me this morning. Keep brewing up that coffee, and let's keep brewing up that magic. See you next time.